Hello, my name is Allie Hall. My speech title is Fact or Fiction, and this is my audience. Say hello.
Hello.
All right, and my other brother is behind the camera. These are my speaking notes right here. Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and begin. All right, in libraries, is the Bible put in the fiction or nonfiction section? Well, during the next few minutes, I'm going to produce documented facts and evidence for the purpose of drawing your attention to the validity and the authenticity of the Christian Bible. The Christian Bible is one of the most reliable documents in all of antiquity. We will be examining the Bible in light of logic, its scientific accuracy, and its historical authority. The Bible is internally consistent. It does not contradict itself. The mere fact that it doesn't contradict itself is a spectacular phenomenon. Why? Well, let's consider it. The Bible is divided into the Old and New Testament with a total of 66 different books that are written in 8 different genres. Did you know that the Bible was originally composed over a span of 1,400 years on 3 different continents? And it was also written by 40 unique different people. To further add to the complexity of the mix, the Bible wasn't even written in the same language. It was written in Hebrew, Koine Greek, and Aramaic. All of this, combined with the different variety of occupational backgrounds by the authors, makes all of this a spectacular phenomenon. The authors came from a variety of different backgrounds. There were philosophers, kings, fishermen, shepherds, and there were many others. This cluster of diversity has remarkably produced a unified document that is integrated with consistency on a number of very controversial issues: marriage, divorce and remarriage, the nature of God, parenting, and the list goes on. The pieces to the biblical puzzle portray a complete picture. The continuity of the Bible is undeniable. Another interesting point is the scientific evidence scattered throughout the Bible. While the Bible is not a scientific text, it does affirm science. In fact, there are many fascinating facts in the Bible in relation to modern science as we know it. For instance, did you know that the Bible suggests that the earth is in orbit? In Job 26, verse 7, it says, and I quote, "He stretcheth out over the north the empty place, and hangeth the earth upon nothing." The Bible makes other references to this very same idea in several other places. The book of Job is one of the oldest books of the Bible. It was written in the 6th century BC, which is nearly 2,000 years before Galileo Galilei suggested the same idea and was actually put under house arrest. The Bible also implies in several places that the earth is not flat, but round. In his article titled "Science and the Bible," expert Mark Eastman, MD, states, and I quote, "The fact of a spherical earth was clearly proclaimed in the Bible by the prophet Isaiah nearly 28 centuries ago. In Isaiah 40, chapter 40, verse 22, it says, 'It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers.'" When Isaiah wrote this verse, he used the Hebrew word, and I'll spell it for you, Khug, to describe the shape of the earth. Although this word is commonly translated into the English word circle, the literal meaning of the word is a sphere, end quote. The fact when Moses, the leader of Israel, is giving laws to his people, he tells them about cleanliness. He tells them, for instance, to wash their hands frequently and after touching certain things. He also, which suggests that he may even have known about germs. Moses writes in the book of Leviticus, chapter 17, in particular, verses 11 and 14, about blood being the source of life, and about how life of the flesh is in the blood, which was a medical marvel that wasn't discovered until the 1600s by William Harvey. You might be asking now, well, how do we know that the Bible wasn't corrected or altered for the purpose of paralleling science? Well, in ancient times, the Old Testament, was preserved by scribes and priests. They would hand copy the documents, before the invention of the printing press. In fact, the religious leaders of old were so concerned about maintaining the accuracy and the validity of the original text that a scribe could be put to death for any mistakes that were found during the copying process. Also, the famous Dead Sea Scrolls also help to secure the precision of the Bible. Let us delve into the historical evidence. It might be interesting to note that there are 643 manuscripts of Homer's Iliad that have been found. In England, the Shakespeare's Birthplace Trust says that none of Shakespeare's manuscripts have survived. Thus far, through various findings, there are approximately 25,000 ancient manuscripts of the Old and New Testament that are in existence. There have been many archaeological discoveries as well. In his book, New Evidence That Demands a Verdict, Josh McDowell explains that for years through, and I quote, the result of higher criticism that there were no Hittites during the time of Abraham, as there were no records of their existence apart from the Old Testament. Archaeological research has now uncovered evidence revealing more than 1,200 years of Hittite civilization. There have been many archaeological discoveries. The Bible is one of the most reliable documents in all of antiquity. The logical, scientific, and historical evidence supplies overwhelming support for the authenticity of both the Old and the New Testament. No other ancient document in existence has been able to establish such authority. Thank you.